Greetings, ASA members. We'll talk about a variety of topics today, but let's start with the questions around assessment and accountability. As you may have heard, our beloved Federal Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, has indicated there will be no waiver of the ESSA required state assessments. At least there won't be a waiver from the U.S. Department of Education. Now, if the election brings a new leader to the U.S. Department of Education, that may cause a change in the stance regarding state assessments. However, many Arizona educators do not fear a state assessment this spring. What we do fear, however, is how that assessment may be potentially used in the accountability system. Maybe I should say potentially misused to label schools. Now, the state board will discuss this issue at a special meeting Monday, November 16th, and you want to pay attention to that meeting. Now, remember, the powers of the state board are limited. It's the legislature that has mandated grades for schools and districts. The state board has the power to design that accountability system. Current law requires accountability, and the state board cannot decide to halt that accountability. Only the legislature can do that. Now, ASBA and ASA and other alphabet groups will be weighing in with the state board on how to utilize that accountability. We definitely will have something to say about that. Let's move on to praise Arizona teachers. Are you tired of hearing how Arizona is 48th in funding or 50th in other categories? Well, here's good news. We are 4th in the nation in how much teachers spend out of their own pockets for classroom supplies. Yes, as this map shows, only California, Michigan, and Hawaii teachers spend more. Arizona comes in 4th with $552 a year. And that's likely to increase because, and I'm quoting, turns out some teachers are using their own money to cover the increased cost of things such as hand sanitizers and wipes. That expense is in addition to, on the average, nationally, $459 teachers spend. This is according to the Economic Policy Institute. Now, note, nationally, $459. Arizona teachers, almost $100 more than the national average. How about that? Okay, let's talk about 40th day reporting. We're coming up on the 40th day. For the first 40 days, according to ADE, districts and charters will submit a report showing the percentage of instructional time that was distance learning by uploading a report file to the school finance system. Why? Remember, distance learning doesn't count as much as the in-person classroom instruction. And school districts, you have till November 13th to upload that information, and there's a link in this message. Okay, how about the mask battle? Yes, it turns out many of our parents and students don't eagerly embrace wearing of masks. Now, some people have said we're worried that the counties might rescind their mask requirement. Don't worry about that. It's not up to the counties. The requirement to wear masks in school district comes from Executive Order 2020-51. Remember, Governor Ducey required all school districts and charter schools to develop and implement a policy to require face coverings. So, it's Executive Order 2020-51. And I've included a link to that order in case you like to have your own personal copy of the executive order that's been running our lives. So don't worry about counties mandating or not mandating masks. It's the governor who's done that for schools, school districts, and charters. Okay, now let's talk about awards. A lot of the superintendents out there have been thanklessly running the school districts as best they can, and it's time to name superintendents for the All Arizona Superintendent Award for small, medium, and large school districts. Think about which of your peers deserve to be named All Arizona Superintendents for small, medium, and large districts. Now let's talk about ASA events. We have many upcoming events, most of them virtual, that you might be interested in. Monday, October 26th, and you'll see some of these on the screen. The Roundtable on Reopening Our Schools, a panel of 3 principals will talk about the joys they've experienced in reopening our schools. And you can click on the link to register with this message. Then, October 28th and 30th, back by popular demand, 2 webinars on Title IX. One focuses on the newly required position of Title IX coordinators, the expanded roles and responsibilities. And then on Friday the 30th, Title IX investigators and decision makers. Those 2 webinars. On November 13th, the Superintendent's Leadership Forum featuring Jerry Colangelo. There's a link to that registration. December 1st, the ABCs of SEAL, Social, Emotional, and Academic Learning. That's a 4-hour academic learning seminar. Registration will be available soon for that. And remember, superintendents, if you're interested in the National Superintendent Certification, that cohort will be starting in January. We'll have registration materials for that on our website soon. From a few other groups, the Arizona Personnel Administrators Association has a Human Resources Administrator of the Year nomination form that's attached to this message. The K-12 Center has a 2-day Leading for Equity event, November 9th and 10th. You can register using the links in this message. Finally, the ASCD, Society for Curriculum Development, the Arizona branch, is developing an Arizona Principals Leadership Academy. Yes, so this is a year-long leadership academy. You can register for that Principals Leadership Academy, that training with this message also. Lots of possibilities for leadership development. Stay with ASA, stay with our webinars. Someday we may meet in person again. I hope that will be sooner rather than later.